Upgrade your shit. What's up? I'm Not a What of the Upgrade guys. Today we're going to talk about shoulder health. Rotation is the fundamental motion of that joint, meaning if you don't have enough rotation, then you don't have a healthy shoulder joint. There's not enough space inside of your capsule, or you don't have control of that range. If that's true, then it's a good idea for us to be able to access that throughout the day so that we can start to make that joint do what we want it to do and make it a strong, healthy joint. In doing so, you'll feel better, you'll move better, you'll be happier because you'll have more physical freedom, and you'll be able to do all the things that you want to do in sport or recreation. You also will be much more free in your daily life in doing the little things like reaching back to grab something from the car seat or to do something for your kid or things of that nature. Just a quick reminder, internal rotation is going this way, external rotation will be going that way. So if you're looking at my arm bone, it rotates in, that's internal. If it rotates away, that's external. Internal rotation is the one that most people have trouble accessing, and because of that, we want to show you ways to do it during your day. Some really easy, accessible ways to do so. If I'm just sitting in this position, for example, I could just put my elbows on top of my knees and make my knuckles touch each other. Bring my hands back towards my belt a little bit and start to squeeze my thighs together. And then wherever the appropriate amount of stretch is for you, you'll stop there. So if you needed to use passive stretching to address your shoulder, this is a great way to do it. Because I'm already in a passive stretch, if I wanted to perform an isometric, I could do that too. How would I do my patelis contraction? I would simply start to let my elbows feel my knees as I drive my hands towards each other, which would be using the tissue that you've just felt stretching. That would be my patelis contraction. If I wanted to do rails, I could easily try to pull those knuckles away from each other without letting the elbows move. I used to feel the stuff in my armpit and some stuff back in here as it tries to pull me into internal rotation. That would be my rails contraction. Any option I'm going to show you today, you can use both for passive stretching or doing isometrics. But to me, if doing the isometric, doing the active work always has a benefit. That being said, there are some people where just adding passive stretching is actually the appropriate thing for them. There's a lot of different factors involved in terms of how much can I get this person, how much can I help this person comply, where the state of this person's joint is, just what else is going in that person's life. And if I have to try to decide between, hey, give you the optimal thing or just give you something that you're going to do, I'm probably going to opt for just give you something that you're going to do if you fall into that category for the time being. And sometimes that's just adding in a few bouts of passive stretching throughout the day. Again, that's not enough, but it's probably better than nothing for that individual. So, different things to think about. So if I'm sitting here and I'll just sit crisscross applesauce and I've got my hands behind my back like I've got two swords here, I can also access rotation there. So I can stay here and I can start to pull my elbows forward, which would essentially make this bone rotate this way internally, right? What I'd want to be careful about here is not letting the shoulder blades come too far away from my spine, because then I sort of might end up doing something like this, and that's not specifically where I want the motion to come from. So I might think a little bit about where those shoulder blades are. More importantly though, I just want to make sure that I can feel that stuff. When you're stretching internal rotation, you should feel that stuff here. And if you want to train the tissues that are at length, which is what we all want to do, that's the tissue you're also training. So if I wanted to create an isometric here, all I would do is start to drive my knuckles into my back. The feedback for this is not as strong because that elbow is sort of floating in space. It requires some control. But if I was next to a wall, I would simply put the back of my elbow on the wall while my knuckles start to drive into my back. That wall could be a door. That wall could be anything, right? Another really easy way you can do it, and this is just a variation of the very first one I showed you. I'm just going to do it from a 99 position. But you can do this from here. You can do it from kneeling, you can do it from crisscross applesauce, you can do it sitting in a chair. As soon as I show you, you'll know. So let's say that my arm is straight out in front of me and my thumb is towards the ceiling. I'm simply going to bend my elbow to about 90 and then make my palm face the floor. My elbow goes on top of my fingertips, my hand cups over my elbow. Now I simply use this top arm to take this arm into internal rotation. Again, my patelis contraction is driving my knuckles towards the ceiling, feeling my elbow pull against my fingertips, and my fingertips providing some feedback. Then the reverse would be me trying to take my knuckles away from this elbow, which would take me further into internal rotation. What you want to remember though is that there's a laser coming out of this elbow, and I never want that laser to move, meaning this thing can't be wonky moving around as we do this. And then just as an added thing, anytime you want to rotate your arm, just rotate your arm. If your arm was a stick, you could simply just rotate all the way internally, bring it back to some degree of external or max out external, rock it back and forth. The more you do something, the more time you get experiencing that. And you can be more specific about it. You can do it from different positions or give it some variation. But try that out. Let us know how it goes. If you got it, please like, please subscribe, share, tell a friend. We are the Upgrade Guys across all platforms. We also do virtual Kinstretch. We do that live every Saturday. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the link for that. And you can also purchase past classes and 15-minute mobility snacks on our website, theupgradeguys.com. Take care, everybody. Upgrade your shit.